Many times it has been said that Australia rides home on the sheep's back. In fact, up to the 1950s, this was certainly still the case, as Australian wool was among the finest in the world and sought after to be made into everything, from clothes to carpets. The wealth of New South Wales in the colonial period was based upon the income that wool brought to the colony. Hi, it's Michael Beashall here, Australian historical fiction writer, and now we'll look at some of the startling statistics of the growth of product in New South Wales during the late colonial period, 1838 to 1851. Now, the streets the wool wagons travelled down to Darling Harbour were now lit by gas lighting, and the ships that took those same wool bales would have been driven by steam power. Now, here is a real ripper of a statistic. It's mind-bending. The quantity of wool exported increased from 1.5 million pounds weight in 1831 to nearly, you ready for it, 9 million pounds in weight in 1840. So just in the space of 9 years, the wool output increased over 8 times. This was an extraordinary growth and explosive growth of wool within a short period of time, and underpins how vital this one particular export was to the colony. The actual value of the wool clip increased from £77,000 in 1831 to £566,000 in 1840. Now, in terms of the people, in 1836 and 1841, the population increased from 77,000 to over 130,000. Again, an extraordinary exponential growth, and the makeup of the population was also changing. In 1821, there was 1 convict to every 3 persons in New South Wales. In 1821, they comprised over 80% of the population of New South Wales. But by 1841, it was being said that with the stoppage of the transportation of convicts, New South Wales in 1840, the swelling numbers of free immigrants and a high birth rate in immigrant families, the bonded and their descendants would soon become an insignificant proportion of the population of New South Wales. However, there was a dark cloud on the horizon and looming closer. As we mentioned, businesses were getting into trouble in the towns, unable to meet their cash flow. There were rumours of a catastrophic drop in British investment and a higher insolvencies as a result. Now, the end of land sales, the end of immigration, and increases in unemployment. In the Sydney Morning Herald, it was said the commercial state of Sydney was so gloomy that there was scarcely a mercantile house in Sydney that a man could safely say was solvent. Very few were solvent, very few businesses a year ago, which was not now undermined by the threat of bankruptcy. And yet employers still wanted to saturate the colony with workers because, well, they were so used to not paying convicts, and they could not bring themselves to actually pay people to do their work for them. Yet, out in the country, it was greatly different. The breathtaking acreages that were being formed under the Australian Agricultural Company was mind-blowing. We will talk about that in another video. So there's the impact that wool played in the rapid development of the colony in the late colonial period. Yes, in those days it was the country land that held the promise of jobs and wealth, and the town suffered being light-footed in business with its lack of critical mass of manufacturing to support its growing population. Now that's it from me, Michael Beashall, for the time being, but keep an eye out for what's in store next week. Thank you.